So we all have social media accounts. We all use Facebook, Instagram, and so on. And we all spend time. We all spend a lot of time every day scrolling through social media, and more often than not doing something unproductive. So instead of doing unproductive things, why not try to do something that will get you some money? So there are actually a few ways to make money on social media, but the method that I know and the method that I personally believe is more reliable and more accessible and more easy to start for almost anyone is being a social media manager. You manage business social media accounts, social profiles, and you get paid for it. Now, one thing to know is there is a difference between social media manager and social media marketer. And right now I am talking about social media manager, because social media marketer generally get more money, get paid higher than a social media manager. But usually people who are looking for a social media marketer, they are looking for someone with experience. They are looking for someone, an expert in the field. But social media manager, really almost anyone can become a social media manager. And because we are on social media every single day, so we already know how it works. We already know how to do the job. And for that reason, businesses usually who are looking for someone to manage their social account doesn't really care much about experience. They only care about someone who can do the job for them. And that is why being a social media manager is one of the easiest gigs to start selling. Now, before we even move further, who will need a social media manager? Who will want to hire a social media manager? Well, there are a lot of people who will want to hire a social media manager. But the most common people who need a social media manager is people who have coaching services. Because people who have coaching services often have some presence on social media. And for that reason, they are too busy to manage their social account, so they need a social media manager. For example, I work for a real estate investor, and he teach other people how to start real estate investing, and he has a premium Facebook group. And one of my job is to manage his Facebook group, premium Facebook group. And so generally people who have coaching services, they need a social media manager. And nowadays almost all businesses have social media presence. And so depending on the type of business, they might hire a freelance social media manager, or they might hire someone in-house to manage their social account. But generally people who have businesses, they need a social media manager because they don't have the time to manage their social presence themselves. Now the next question is, what is involved in social media management? What do you need to learn in order to start social media management? Well, it's very easy. There are a few things that you need to know how to do in order to start social media management. And these things include private Facebook group moderation. People who have private Facebook group, the Facebook groups require moderation. First thing you should do is, one of the tasks that you can take care of is managing new member requests. If it is a private group, when someone requests to join a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, there are often some questions that they need to answer. For example, if you request to join my own personal Facebook group, you will be asked to agree to the terms and conditions. You will be asked to agree that there is no bullying, no harassment. You will be asked to verify that you understand it's not a place to find client. And you have to answer all of these questions before you get approved. If you didn't answer all the questions, then we have to reject your request to join with a feedback. So this is one of the tasks that social media manager generally handle. And another task is moderating posts. When someone make a post in a Facebook group, especially private Facebook group, the post is going to be held for moderation. Someone has to check the post, make sure it follows the group guidelines, then they can approve the post, and only then the post will be visible in the group. So this is another task that a social media manager can handle. Another task is post scheduling. You can schedule posts for your client. For example, if it's in a Facebook group, the client might have some specific post that they schedule every day. And in some cases, they will write the post and give you the post, and you can schedule the post to go out maybe once every day, twice per day, depending on their own schedule. And another task is maybe managing engagement. If they have a lot of followers, for every post they make, there might be some people making some comment, asking some questions, or asking for some directions. Depending on the number of followers they have, there will be some people making some comment on their post, social post. And one of your jobs as a social media manager is to view the comment, check out the comment. If it is a question, you answer the question if you can. They might provide an SOP for you to answer questions. And if it is something they need a direction maybe, or they are asking how can I join a group, or how can I sign up for the coaching service, then you give them direction. So this post engagement is something that will be part of your job as a social media manager. And in some cases, they might even require you to manage their DM, their direct messages. And that's especially if they have a lot of followers. They might be receiving a lot of messages from followers, usually asking for some questions or asking for some direction on how to do something. And you will be managing their DMs. And if there is a message that is very important that needs their attention, then you call the owner's attention to the message. And the normal messages where people are asking for questions and other related stuff, you can just handle the questions for them. So this is also another thing that you can do as a social media manager. And if you really want to be a valuable social media manager, you can even offer to create posts for your client. And this is easy also, because you can simply use Canva. You can sign up for Canva, and Canva has a lot of social media graphic template. You can use their template and create some nice social media posts that you can share with your client. You can just get their direction, get their brand colors, get their font they normally use, and get some pictures, and you can easily create some post graphic that will match their brand identity. And if you can do this will increase your value as a social media manager. So as you can see, all of these services are services that almost everyone can do, and it doesn't require an expert. It's just a normal managing social media account, and a lot of these things we do every day. The only thing that you might not be doing every day is maybe creating graphics, social media graphics, and maybe scheduling posts. And regarding creating graphics, you don't even have to create graphics in order to become a social media manager. It is something that is nice to have, but if you don't offer social media graphic design, you can still be a social media manager. And also another thing that you might not be doing normally is scheduling posts. And some people will be using some external tool to schedule posts, something like Facebook Creator Studio. There are a lot of things that you can use externally to schedule a post on social media. But if it is a group, you can generally schedule inside the Facebook group. But Instagram, Twitter, all social media platforms, there are external tools that will allow you to schedule posts. So I really think the only thing that you need to learn when you want to become a social media manager is learn how to use a scheduling software. And you don't need to start by learning the scheduling software. You just need to start by finding the client. When you find the client, then if the client is using a specific scheduling tool, then you can learn the tool they use to schedule posts. Because if you said, okay, I will learn a scheduling tool first, what if you learn something first and when you get the client, they are using something else? So that is why learning a tool to schedule posts is not something that you need to do. You just need to find the client first, then you will know what to learn. Okay, I hope you are taking some note. If you are not taking any note, then you might need to rewatch and take note of first, who needs social media manager. Second, the services that you can offer as a social media manager. You need to have this down. And then the next thing that you should do is you shall watch this video to learn how to create your account on Upwork and start looking for clients. If you find the video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.